Hi, everybody. Kristen Nix here with Soulful Aligned Entrepreneur. And as we are gearing up for the Practical Intuition Business Challenge, I came across someone asked me the other day, how did you learn to trust your intuition? And so I was thinking about it, and actually, my trusting intuition story is actually a rather expensive one, to be honest with you, because when I decided that I really wanted to use my intuitive gifts to be able to help other business owners to create grace and ease in their business as well as income without sacrificing themselves. I decided that I needed a big name coach and I needed to invest in myself and I needed to really go 100% in order to grow this business. What I didn't know is that my intuition was telling me that's not necessarily what you needed. So what happened is that I found a girlfriend of mine in one of my Facebook groups suggested a entrepreneurial coach, business coach. She's in I think Seattle. Anyway, I was like, okay, and so I read through her stuff. It sounded really great, but there was something inside of me that kept saying, no, 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 this is not for you. This is not in alignment with you. However, I was like, yeah, but I need a really big coach and she's saying all the right things. And I really feel like I need to invest with her. And so I got on a call with this coach and we went through a conversation, and the conversation, I mean, she said all the right things. Her perspective was very similar to mine, and she was just that far ahead of me, right? So I thought, oh, she can really help me get to where I need to be. And so I kind of shuddered when she told me how much a month she charged for her coaching program, and that it was 6 months, and it was $2,500 a month. And this is going from no coaching or very limited coaching to all of a sudden this. And granted that I was new in my business, I had not really started making a lot of money yet. So it was kind of like, okay, how am I going to do this? And so um, I kept feeling pulled to invest in this particular coaching program, even though my intuitive self was like, no, this is not going to be fun. This is not going to work for you. There's a problem here. And even when I read through her contract, I even sent it to a friend of mine because I swear there were fangs and like claws coming out of her contract. It was incredibly um, ego driven and very much out of alignment. There are red flags all over the place. And yet I felt pulled to do this. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I know this is not for my highest good. And yet here I am committing to this woman. And I was like, what is going on? Why am I being pulled to do it? And yet I know there are red flags popping up everywhere. So I am into my second month of coaching with her. No, first month of coaching with her. And she would tell me what to do. She's like, well, you need to be doing this. You need to be doing this. You need to let go of this. You need to be doing this. Da 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 da. And she gave me like a laundry list of things that I needed to do in my business. And I was like, okay. And what's funny is that my intuitive self was like, nope, this is out of alignment with you. This is not what you need to be doing. She's wrong. And I was like, okay. And so I tried to tell her that. I told her that I'm not feeling it. I don't feel connected to this. I'm not responding. The information that I am getting intuitively is this. And she turned around and said, your intuition is not what you need to be trusting. You need to be trusting what I know because I know best. And that's when I knew that my lesson here to learn, which is why I was pulled to work with her, was to figure out that my intuition was actually working for my highest good and that she wasn't. And that was a really big eye opener for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my lesson to learn how to trust myself. And it would not have shown up as strongly if I had not been so invested, both monetarily, but also emotionally, mentally invested, spiritually invested in this coach. So basically, I told her that this was not working for me, this was not a fit, and I needed out of our contract. And she's like, I have never had anybody break a contract with me. She goes, however, I'll think about it and we'll see what we can do. And so I was like, okay, guys, I called in my crew, my guides and my angelics. And I'm like, okay, so what should I do when I have this call with her about coming to terms with breaking our contract? Because in her contract, it said basically I had to pay the rest of her contract, which was a couple $1,000s in order to get out of it. And I was like, oh my goodness, how in the hell am I going to explain this? And so what they told me was offer her 1 month's payment in lieu of breaking the contract because she's going to come to the table already knowing exactly what she wants. And I was like, okay. So I walked into the call totally knowing what I was going to do. I felt like I had my posse behind me, totally supporting me. I made the offer, and that she said, that's fine, let's do that. And I'm like, done. And so I gave her my credit card. We were done. I basically accepted. She sent me a receipt saying our contract was null and void. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But that was the most expensive 3 months I have ever spent, because I ended up paying about $7,500. Yes, $7,500 in order to learn how to trust my intuition. So I pray that you do not have the same experience that I did. And I would rather you join like the Practical Intuitive Challenge, where we go through how to recognize your intuition, how to trust it, how to translate how things are coming to you, and then how to practically apply it to your business so you make better decisions quicker, things that are in alignment with you, that feel easy, feel light, and they feel like your natural flow, instead of being pulled to learn a very expensive lesson. So that was my lesson on trusting my intuition. I hope that you trust your intuition. And if you don't, and you want a little help figuring out how all that works for you, because everybody's a little different. So go ahead and join us for our next Practical Intuition Challenge. It's coming up in a week or so, and I'd love to see you there. So click the link below, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.